At a large urban high school, students whispered tales of a cursed locker, Locker 666. It was said to be hidden deep within the school's labyrinthine hallways. According to the legend, anyone who dared to open the locker would be plagued by terrifying nightmares and face unimaginable misfortune. Most dismissed it as mere superstition, but others couldn't resist the temptation to test the curse. John, a curious and daring student, became intrigued by the legend of Locker 666. Unfazed by the warnings, he saw it as an opportunity to prove that the curse was nothing more than a spooky story. With unwavering determination, he set his mind to unlock the infamous locker. As the clock struck midnight, John found himself standing in front of Locker 666. The hallway felt eerily quiet, and a chilling gust of wind swept through the corridor. Ignoring the shiver down his spine, John grasped the rusted handle and turned it. The locker creaked open, and for a brief moment, the lights flickered ominously. The following night, John experienced a series of haunting nightmares. Ghastly apparitions, dark shadows, and eerie whispers filled his dreams. Though unsettled, he brushed it off as mere coincidence, refusing to believe in the curse. As days passed, John's life took a dark turn. Strange occurrences plagued him, objects moving on their own, cold spots, and inexplicable noises. His friends began to notice the change in him, but John remained adamant that the curse was not real. Despite John's denial, the curse's grip on him tightened. He couldn't escape the feeling of being watched, and paranoia consumed his every thought. The nightmares intensified, blending into his waking hours, blurring the line between reality and the supernatural. Desperate for answers, John delved into the history of Locker 666. He discovered that the locker belonged to a student who had vanished mysteriously years ago. Rumors spoke of a dark ritual performed by a group of students, resulting in the curse that haunted the locker. John realized that he couldn't break the curse without confronting the events of the past. With the help of his friends, he traced the origins of the dark ritual. They discovered that the curse demanded justice for the student who had vanished, seeking closure for the wrongs done to them. In a daring move, John and his friends decided to reverse the curse through a counter-ritual. They gathered at Locker 666, determined to appease the malevolent force and set the restless spirit free. As they performed the counter-ritual, the hallway filled with an eerie energy. A ghostly figure appeared before them, the spirit of the vanished student. Through their empathy and understanding, they acknowledged the pain the spirit had endured and offered forgiveness for the past. With the curse broken, the school's atmosphere transformed. The once dreaded Locker 666 became just another locker, and the tales of the cursed locker faded into oblivion. John and his friends felt a sense of relief, knowing they had put an end to the malevolent force that had plagued their lives. In the aftermath of their harrowing experience, John and his friends sought solace in each other's company. They shared their fears, nightmares, and the impact the curse had on their lives. Through their mutual support, they found strength and healing, vowing never to underestimate the power of ancient legends. As days passed, the spirit of the vanished student visited John and his friends once more. This time, the apparition appeared not as a harbinger of doom but as a peaceful presence. The spirit conveyed its gratitude for their efforts in breaking the curse and setting it free from its restless existence. The harrowing tale of the cursed locker had a lasting impact on John and his friends. They formed a group called the Empathy Guardians to raise awareness about the importance of compassion and understanding. They shared their story with the school, hoping to prevent others from falling victim to the allure of dark legends. The cursed locker became an important story to be shared with the world. The Empathy Guardians started a YouTube channel to recount their journey of confronting the curse and finding redemption through empathy. Their channel became a platform to inspire others to face their fears with compassion. As the Empathy Guardians shared their story, they received messages from people worldwide. Their courage and empathy inspired others to confront their own demons, find healing in empathy, and break the chains of darkness that held them captive. The Empathy Guardians YouTube channel grew rapidly, gathering a community of compassionate individuals from different walks of life. They organized workshops, seminars, and events to promote empathy and understanding, leaving a profound impact on every community they touched. The Cursed Locker had turned into a story of hope, resilience, and the transformative power of empathy. The Empathy Guardians movement rippled across the globe, transforming schools and communities into havens of compassion. The Empathy Guardians knew that their journey was far from over. As they continued to share their story, they discovered new tales of darkness and redemption from people around the world. Each story reaffirmed the universal truth: they could conquer darkness with the light of empathy. The Cursed Locker and the Empathy Guardians' journey would be remembered for generations to come. Their message of compassion and understanding had touched countless lives, leaving an everlasting legacy that proved empathy had the power to heal the darkest of curses. As the Empathy Guardians continued their journey, they encountered various tales of darkness and redemption. Each story they shared on their YouTube channel touched the hearts of their viewers, inspiring them to embrace empathy in their lives. They traveled to different cities, connecting with communities and spreading their message of compassion. One day, the Empathy Guardians received a mysterious invitation to a remote village. The letter spoke of a haunting legend that had plagued the villagers for generations, a malevolent spirit that brought misfortune upon anyone who dared enter the cursed forest. Undeterred by the chilling legend, the Empathy Guardians accepted the invitation and journeyed to the haunted forest. As they ventured deeper into the woods, they felt an ominous presence surrounding them. Whispers echoed through the trees, warning them of the dangers that lay ahead. In the heart of the forest, the Empathy Guardians encountered the tormented spirit responsible for the curse. They learned the spirit had once been a villager who suffered great injustice and betrayal, leading to their tragic demise. Rather than trying to banish the spirit, the Empathy Guardians chose a different approach. They offered empathy and understanding, acknowledging the spirit's pain and the wrongs done to them. Through compassion, they formed a pact to break the cycle of malevolence. As the Empathy Guardians connected with the spirit, the cursed forest underwent a transformation. The malevolent energy dissipated, and the haunting whispers were replaced by a serene silence. The villagers rejoiced, finally free from the darkness that had plagued their lives. The Empathy Guardians shared the tale of the haunted forest on their YouTube channel. The story touched the hearts of millions, igniting a wave of compassion across the globe. People from different countries were inspired to confront their own legends with empathy, creating a ripple effect of positive change. In their travels, the Empathy Guardians encountered another group, the Compassionate Collective, who shared a similar mission. The two groups joined forces, forming a powerful alliance of empathy and understanding. With the Cursed Locker and the Haunted Forest story, along with the partnership of the Compassionate Collective, the Empathy Guardians movement reached new heights. Their collective efforts brought nations together, fostering peace and compassion in a world that yearned for healing. The Cursed Locker, unleashing darkness, had come full circle, from a tale of fear to a journey of empathy and hope. The Empathy Guardians' mission was far from over. It had become an endless journey to create a world united by understanding, compassion, and love. As the Empathy Guardians movement continued to gain momentum, their impact on the world became even more profound. They established the Empathy Foundation, a non-profit organization dedicated to promoting empathy and understanding on a global scale. Through charitable initiatives and educational programs, they reached out to underprivileged communities, providing them with hope and support. The Empathy Guardians embarked on a series of worldwide tours, visiting schools, communities, and even conflict zones. They shared their stories, listened to people's struggles, and offered empathy as a path to healing and reconciliation. Their tours brought people together, fostering unity and understanding in even the most divided places. The Empathy Guardians collaborated with world leaders and peace activists to promote empathy as a means to resolve conflicts and build bridges between nations. Their message of peace and compassion resonated with people worldwide, becoming a guiding principle in international diplomacy. The Cursed Locker story, along with their countless tales of empathy and healing, fueled an empathy revolution. People began to realize the transformative power of compassion and its potential to change lives for the better. The world embraced empathy as a force that transcended borders and united humanity. To recognize and celebrate acts of empathy and kindness, the Empathy Guardians established the annual Empathy Awards. Each year, they honored individuals and organizations that had made significant contributions to spreading compassion and understanding in their communities. The Cursed Locker and the Empathy Guardians' journey became legendary. Their story transcended time, becoming a timeless tale of courage, empathy, and the triumph of light over darkness. Future generations would be inspired by their legacy, perpetuating their mission of empathy throughout the ages. The Empathy Guardians YouTube channel became a global platform where people from all corners of the world shared their stories of empathy and compassion. The channel became a source of hope and healing for those seeking to make a positive impact in their lives and the lives of others. As the years passed, the original members of the Empathy Guardians grew old, but their mission lived on through the new generation of empathetic individuals who took up their cause. The flame of empathy continued to burn brightly, uniting people and bringing light to even the darkest corners of the world.